All right, today I'm sharing with you how I've built multiple one person seven figure businesses in different industries over the past couple of decades. And oh, yes, oh, yes, I'm going to show you how I'm doing it again, rebuilding after selling my last nutrition company. And I'll take you inside and I'll show you how to model it in whatever market or whatever niche you're in. And as always, this is just me, Ryan Lee, one person, no edits, one take. Sometimes we fumble, but we just keep going. Let's share the stage. Here we go. Are you ready? So, how do we do this? It is all about thinking differently, getting away from this idea of I'm jumping idea to idea and niche to niche, and I'm going to do drop shipping this week, and next week I'm going to do a TikTok shop, and the week after that I want to be an affiliate, and then I want to be a coach. It's coming up with this idea of I'm going to be in this one niche in this one market, whatever that's going to be. We have time to figure that out, and then creating a product line that supports you, your market, your idea, your brand, all of that. But it's not a one product business, it's a product line. And I want to show you how to build one out the right way. So, of course, we always start with the idea of okay, where does this fit into the global business? Where does this fit into your brand and your system? Because without that, you feel disorganized and you feel overwhelmed. And I've worked with people long enough, again, since the late 90s, building my own businesses and helping other people. If you don't have a system or an anchor, it feels really all over the place. You're like, well, I have to do a product. Well, what am I going to do for traffic and how am I going to sell it? And what's my upsell? It's chaotic. So we always take a deep breath and back. And if you've been watching my videos, you know the system GTB. You're down with GTB. Yeah, you know me. First letter for G is grow. That's your traffic. That is getting new people in. Mine right now is YouTube. Yours might be YouTube. Yours might be Facebook. It might be Facebook ads. It might be LinkedIn, whatever it is. That's the thing you focus on for the first hour of the day or the first 20 minutes, whatever your slot is going to be, the first third of your workday. Second is T, which stands for type, which stands for email, which is how you're going to make a majority of sales. Doesn't matter if you're selling digital products or a membership site, or I've made a majority of my income in health and fitness in my nutrition and supplement businesses. Same thing, emailed almost every single day. And then the third letter is B, is bank, is the monetization, is how we're going to turn this traffic onto our list into income the right way, the ethical way. This is not it drives me a little crazy. People say, "Oh my God, Ryan, this is clickbait, this is scammy." And it's I'm teaching you the building blocks of real business. It doesn't matter what market you're in or what it is you're selling. It's you need traffic. You need a way to get people off of off third party platforms into your world, your asset, your list, and then you have things to offer. That's it. That's the business model. There's nothing unscrupulous about it. It becomes shady when you sell crap. That's what I don't want. That's what I don't do, and that's what you should not do because you're hurting people, and they're not going to come back anyway. So all of that effort you spent marketing and building a list, it's a waste because they just leave. Why would you do that? I don't get that. So this is all part of the flywheel. It starts with the traffic, it gets into the list, and then the monetization. And today, the product line in every video, I've enjoyed breaking this down, and I hope you have too. And if you've been enjoying this, by the way, if you could do me a favor, takes 1 second, like this, and then subscribe. Because then YouTube's like, oh man, this guy Ryan has some subscribers and likes. Let's show him to more people. If you could do that, if you like this, I'd love that. If not, I don't know, go watch someone else. No, I'd really appreciate if you could. So this every video I'm going to be doing from now on is going to fit into one of these three things. Today is the monetization. It's coming up with that offers and from a strategic perspective because the strategy comes first. It comes before what's the hack to get X number of visitors or what's the quickest way to $1 million. It's not about that. This is about taking a step back and saying, how do I build a long-term business that's going to generate income for years and even for decades? Now, the overall concept is that even though a lot of people live in this lack mentality and this thing of, oh, everything's free, no one's going to pay. The reality is people still want to buy. They're still going to shop. They're still going to purchase. People still buy things and products and services and information and advice. They do, and they want to. And does everyone want to? No. Are there tire kickers? Yes. Are a majority probably tire kickers? Yeah. But we're not talking about building a list of 1,000 people and thinking you're going to get 1,000 buyers. In reality, if you could have 1,000 people and 10% and 100 of those people are buyers, you write your own ticket. It's not about trying to convert everyone. It's getting the right people who into your world and saying, "This is what I have. This is what I teach. This is what I offer. Do you want it?" And they're going to buy. And here's a prime example. Think about right now. Look at your bookshelf, right? Look at your bookshelf. If you're into this world of marketing, depending how new you are, there's a really good chance you own at least one book. And if you own one business or marketing book, whether it was even old school, like more businessy personal development, like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or the Seven Habits, like one of those, or Tim Ferriss's stuff, there's a really good chance you have more than one book, right? Or if you've read a business book, you've probably read more than one. Very few people have an interest in a market and a niche, whether it's business, whether it's health and fitness and weight loss and fixing a car or parenting, you're going to buy more than one thing about that. When when my wife and I had our first child, who's God, about to be 21, but when she was a baby, like I had a bunch of books on how to be a dad and raise your kid and dad's girl, all that kind of stuff. When I was getting my master's degree in exercise physiology, I had every fitness and strength and conditioning book. Like I was studying from people like Fleck and Kramer and Don Chu and Vern Gambetta. Like I was all in. Then I started getting interested in the business of it. And all of a sudden it started to shift. It was 100% books on fitness and health and physiology. And then it was like 90% that, 10% business, and it starts to shift. But my point is, I'm talking too much. I want to get into the product line, but my point is, people are going to buy and they're going to buy multiple things. And if you don't offer something good, not crap, something good, they're going to buy it somewhere else. They're going to scratch that itch somewhere else. That is my point. Very, very, very few people come into a market and are excited about a market and buy just one thing. So it might as well be you. And a big mistake I made at the very beginning when I started teaching business for fitness trainers, after I had success online for a few years with strength and conditioning, I only had like one product at the beginning. And all of my customers, they got excited and then they started buying other things from other people. I'm like, well, what about me? Like, Ryan, you don't have anything else. So that was a mistake I rectified. And here is what is the absolute truth. I'm going to say in general, because there's no, I shouldn't have said absolute truth, but 99% of the time, um, the more products you create, the more offers you create, the more income you're going to generate. Okay. If you create more products, you send more email, and you give people more options, you're going to make more money. It's just, it's science. Like it just is. And when I create more products and create more things that are exciting and new and fresh and a different spin on things, people buy. Does everyone buy? No. And that's okay. I'm going to talk in future videos about bringing back products, bringing them back as a 2.0 version, a new and improved version, a version to recycle and bring back alumni. There's a lot of cool ways. And by the way, if you're interested in really diving deep like a lunatic on this, type in 1K below if you haven't done so yet. Just 1K. And I'm working on a cool report on that. Anyway, so now we start thinking, all right, people are going to buy, they're going to be interested. How do I create a product line, right, that all fits together? And this is where we start getting in the weeds, because if you have a passion or an expertise in a specific topic, let's say it's fitness. You start with, okay, here's the program I want to do. And then it starts getting bigger. And then it starts getting bigger. And all of a sudden, now you're adding in all the recipes and the meal plans. And well, I have to do a fitness program. Well, I need to do a flexibility program. Well, I need to add a warm up and a cool down. And I really should do a whole thing on mindset. And I should give them all these things. Well, what if I do a fast food guy? And all of a sudden, this becomes this massive thing that balloons. And you're like, well, I have nothing else to sell, right? There's nothing else for people to ever buy. And it's half of the it's really interesting. It's almost like half your success is having restraint, is knowing when to kind of pull in the reins and edit and say, okay, I don't have to give every single thing in every single product because it doesn't help your business and it doesn't help your consumers because it becomes overwhelming. It becomes too much. So, what you want to do is you want to say, okay, here is my flagship. Here's my kind of core system that I am going to be known for. What is that thing, right? Is it a weight loss program? Is it a how to find joy after divorce, right? Or is it how to how to date or how to finance your first home or how to flip a house or how to do Airbnb or how to invest in whatever crypto? Like, what's your flagship core thing? How to grow your accounting business, whatever that is. Let's think about it. This is my flagship. This is my program. If someone was coming into your world, what's the one thing you'd say, okay, get this. This is going to take you kind of A to Z, get you caught up. It's not every single thing you're ever going to know because then it becomes so detailed, it becomes impossible, it becomes unwieldy, but still a product that could stand on its own, right? That's important. And it's something where there's enough with like, okay, this was really, really good. I love it. It got me from point A to B. I feel like I know what to do now in this world, in this system. And then they want some more, right? So you got your core system. So just to give you an example, this is mine right now. So mine is so since I sold my nutrition company about 2 years ago, my most recent one, and now in my 50s, I'm like, okay, I'm going to rebuild. My core system now is this kind of one person, 1 hour, one day, like this idea of a one person empire, one person mini empire. That's the core system. That's the flagship. That's the product that really gets you into my world, my terms, the GTB flywheel. It gets you caught up to date. And that's what you should create in your business. Don't copy mine. You do yours, right? You do you. You create your system and frameworks. And we'll get more into this in future videos. Again, just like and subscribe for more to come. But we have to think about this in a system. So if you were being interviewed on a podcast and they said, "Oh, Jenny, I see, you teach people, you teach female CEOs how to have balance in their life. What's the key?" You should be able to say, "Great question, Joe. Uh, it's really my ABC system, apples, bananas, whatever that thing is, right?" So I could say, if they said, "Ryan, what's the key to this?" I say, "Well, the system is GTB, grow type bank." Do you have a system? If you don't, and your whole thing is, well, oh, great question. First you have to really start thinking about where you are as a CEO and do you have kids and maybe and then just throwing like generic words, then it doesn't feel packaged. So this is about packaging your information. And once you have that flagship, right, we'll get more into this in future videos. And again, write 1K below because I go really deep into this stuff, creating the flagship. But when you have your flagship, it's the middle of it, right? And then all of these products support your flagship. It's for people who want to go deeper. So if someone buys your health program and you have one module about workouts, but now they're like, "Oh, that was great, but I really want like more workouts. I want a 6-month program. I want a whole thing on kettlebell training. I want more." Because it's impossible to do it all in a flagship. Then that's where the branches come out. So for example, here's mine. Right now, the one person empire is the core, it's the flagship. There are some people who say, "Well, that's cool, but what about like the G part, the grow? I want to go deeper into YouTube." So I did a program with my buddy Scott Volker, who at 50 has a channel with over 100,000 people in a really cool niche. We did a whole training program called Afterburner, where we go into his whole system about getting traffic on YouTube, and I'm using it. It's working for me. So if you have one person, the one person empire, and you want to go really deep into YouTube, that's like an 8-hour course for you. And if not, we still cover YouTube in the thing. Give you a really good start. But if you want to go deeper, there's always going to be a percentage of people who do. That's Afterburner. That's part of the product. That's a product of the product line. "Hey, Ryan, this is cool. And you talked about email in One Person Empire, but I really want to go deep in email." No problem. I've got the one email a day program where it's an entire training just on email. We break down all of my emails step by step, line by line, why I write the way I do, how often to write. And it's really deep. Do you have something? So, using the health example, maybe another spinoff for you that so you've got something deeper with fitness, and now you're going to go deeper with nutrition, and you're going to break it down to the macros, and you're going to break it down by meal plans and recipes and shopping lists and a full 6 week, 6 month program. That's a product. That's part of the product line. This is product lines and information. I've built product lines in supplements where I've had spin-off supplements. I'll do a multi or I'll do greens. I'll do different flavors. I'm taking that concept. I built product lines in nutrition and supplements and putting it into information. Another spinoff is MBX. It's a program that's showing how to create these front-end, low-cost micro books, multimedia products that are going to bring in buyers to get people from traffic into your list. And now here's a way to get them to buy, to get them into your world as a buyer, because a buyer is going to be much more valuable than just building a list of people who want free information, right? Then, well, Ryan, that's cool. What about recurring revenue? I know you've built a lot of that. Here you go. Here's a product called Repeatable, where it's I think it was like 6 or 7 hours just on creating recurring revenue. It was all about that. So you see how I took my core, my flagship, the one person empire, and now I have different ways on different branches, different products that are optional. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. How do you position this without overwhelming people? Because you have to be really delicate when you do this. And I'll share that in a minute. Then I have an all access pass, which I just released for people who want ongoing templates and cool. I want traffic templates. I want to have new email templates I can use each month. I want your audio coaching to keep me motivated and kick me in the butt every month. Cool. And that's a membership. So then you could have a recurring revenue program as one of your products, a product line, right? Part of the thing that supports your flagship, your main idea. And then I put this cool little graphic here. It's kind of like its own flywheel. It's like a product flywheel. Whereas you could now rotate these products. Your flagship, maybe you open that once a year or once a quarter, and then you could open up those other products every couple of weeks, right? To support the flagship. Or you keep the flagship open all year round, and then you open and close the product line products. And then hopefully you're always getting new people in your world on your list. So by the time you come back around 12 months later and you open up Afterburner 2.0, you have a couple of hundred, a couple thousand new people in your world who haven't seen that program. Open close is really powerful. I like running them as micro cohorts where you could do it live. I like bringing back products and adding live Q&As. Again, we're going to get deeper. And if you want to go deeper into that, just type 1K below. So really important here is that when you're creating this, you let people kind of pick and choose. Okay. You don't want to force it. And this is where entrepreneurs, they drop the ball because you get so excited about your product and you hype everything up and you're kind of like, hey, if you're not getting this, then you're not serious about your business. That's a terrible line, by the way. Don't use that. Don't use guilt and shame to get people to buy. Instead, say, hey, if you want to get more traffic on YouTube, I think you're going to like Afterburner. Check it out. Here it is. And if not, that's cool too. Oh, you want to build a front end microbook? Check out MBX. I think you're going to dig it. If not, totally fine. It's such an easier way to sell it instead of like pressuring people all the time, because you want these products, you want your product line to all work together. It should feel synergistic. And if you're selling things that have nothing to do with each other, right? If you're saying, hey, this month I'm promoting my how to make $1 billion in crypto, right? And next month you're promoting how to get six-pack abs. And the next month after that, how to get rich with TikTok shops. And the month after that, how to, be a coach. It's disjointed. It's all over the place. And it looks like you're just chasing money. And you are, right? You're hopping opportunity, and you're doing whatever pays a big commission or whatever the hot thing is, and you're shoving at them. That's not the way to build trust in relationships. You have to avoid these mixed messages. And by mixed messages, it could also be the concept of what I call playing fair, meaning if your umbrella is health and weight loss and nutrition, like that's your umbrella topic, right? So everyone has an umbrella topic. If every month or every week you're saying something different, that's really bad way to build relationships. So for example, let's say you're in the kind of weight loss, health, nutrition niche. And this week you're promoting your product. Hey, if you want to lose weight, dude, you got to do carnivore. Carnivore is the thing. You just eat meat. You go in your backyard, you chomp on a cow, go buy beef sticks, throw out your vegetables, only eat meat all day. It's the only way to lose weight. Here's all the studies. Everything else sucks. This is the only thing you should do. You push it hard and then you sell it. Then the next week, a new product comes out. Hey, you know what? If you really want to lose weight, vegan's the way. Don't eat meat ever. Meat's inflammatory. Meat's expensive. Meat, does this. It ruins the environment and the carbon, all this stuff, right? The carbon gases. But you got to go vegan. Vegan's the only way. It reduces inflammation. Then people are like, well, what? You just told me that was the only way. And then the next week, you know what? If you want to lose weight, don't diet at all. Eat everything. When you do this, you lose trust. And it's not good for your business. It's not good for your customers, people on your list. And that's when people blow it. And that's when people come to me like, Ryan, I got this list and it used to do well. Now my open rate is 8%. I have no sales. I get unsubscribes like crazy. No one's buying my stuff anymore. And I look at the messages and you get whiplash because what you're doing is you're saying this is the thing. And then you totally discount in the next versus having a flagship, right? Where I talked about this idea of, well, actually, let me show you. Let me come back here, right? The idea of the flagship supporting all the other stuff. So it makes sense. So if I'm talking about YouTube traffic this week with bringing back Afterburner 2.0, it makes sense because it's all part of the same system. But if this week I'm promoting how to get six-pack abs, you're like, what are you talking about, right? Or if I said, you should never do YouTube, you've got to only do this, then I just discounted everything I've been talking about. I'm not saying you can't ever change your mind and you can't ever change your systems, but if you're doing it week to week and you're constantly zigzagging, then it looks like you're chasing opportunity. You never want to chase the money, right? You have to always put them first. That is really important when you're building a product line, is put yourself in their shoes and what helps them organize the information, what's going to help them move forward towards whatever their goals are, right? Whether they want to make money, lose weight, get rid of an autoimmune, build a strong relationship, get married, get divorced, whatever the thing is, have them moving towards that. And you organize it in a manner where there's a flagship and there's other products to support it. You say, here's another thing in your journey, and I think you might like it. If not, that's cool too. Watch what happens when you do that. It is amazing how well it works. And you're doing it the right way. You're doing it legally. You're doing it ethically. You can hold your head up high because you know you're supporting them. And you're building a business. And people understand that, right? They get it. Are you going to get the one or two? Oh my God, you keep trying to sell me stuff. Yeah, you're going to. But don't listen to them. Listen to the buyers who are like, thank you so much for putting out this stuff. I love it. I love the way you teach. I love your information. I love the way you curate. I love the way you break things down. Focus on them, not the one or two that are going to be upset no matter what you do. And speaking of doing cool stuff, if you want more, obviously like and subscribe, and then just type in 1K below because we are just getting warmed up. Just type 1K. We're just getting started with this. And I really hope you've been enjoying these videos. I love creating this for you and kind of breaking down and going through products that I've built over the years, products I'm building now in my 50s, and kind of helping people 40, 50, 60 and up do this stuff without it being overcomplicated and complex, because it really shouldn't be. It really is simple. See, I made it all the way to the end and I'm not editing out simple. Maybe that's going to be my thumbnail. Simple business or simple. So as always, more to come. And check this out. more videos because we are just getting warmed up, my friend. See you on the next one.